is Sarah from Losing It For Me 42, and I kind of wanted to come on and talk about some things that I'm using in my head. More rambling, Sarah. Yay! It's your own fault. You said you liked it. Anyway, the last few weeks, really actually since I had the 10-pound gain, I gained 10 pounds from having kind of I wanted to eat it weekend, and I was just really upset by it, and it kind of put me into this, like, tailspin behavior of, like, well, fuck it, and, like, I did a whole bunch of stuff that I hadn't done since surgery. I hadn't done since a year before surgery. I did a whole bunch of stuff that I hadn't, like, I ate things, I ate all the things, I did a lot of things, and it was really bad behavior, and it really started to, and I was so I could not regain control. I had all these issues, and I kind of floundered around for a while, and I had a bunch of gains, and I was really in some losses, and then nothing seemed to be going in a direction. And one of the things that I realized is I had gotten away from me. And that was very evident by my behavior. I had gotten away from me. And I was, Lessa Sarah just started posting videos again. And if you don't follow her, you should. She's fantastic. She's, I want to say 4 years out, I think. 4 years. And she just started making videos again, and she had a really hit home, and I think kind of made it go click of what I've been doing and why I've been doing it, which was she talked about doing it for you, as it is my name. And that's the entire, like, her description, especially of doing it for you. Like, it's not even the, you know, you're not doing it for this person, you're not doing it for that person, but, like, you know, that this process is all about you, and that all of it, and what you want, and how you want to do things, and all of that, like, all of that is part of doing it for you. Hence, losing it for me. Was that it wasn't, I've never tried to lose weight for other people, but for me, this is about me and my process and my mental and my, you know, all of it. That's where that name came from for me. 42 is just the answer to life, the universe, and everything, because, you know, it is. But I realized that I had gotten away from me. I had gotten away from my goals. I had gotten away from how I looked at things. And I think a large part of it was just it was something that when everybody around you is talking about how red is just it is the color. And then you're like, I need red in my life. I need red everywhere in my life. I need red. And even though your favorite color is blue, you suddenly want everything to be red. Or have some piece of red. It doesn't have to be everything red. You just want some piece of red. To be like, look, I have red too. And that's always been an issue. And I think that definitely happened, is that listening and watching people's videos and Instagram and everything where people are talking about numbers, and to the point where some people are talking, like, incredibly extreme on, you know, they're so afraid of that scale going up half an ounce and they're so, like, they berate themselves for having any kind of gain, even if it was, it wasn't a real gain. And I think that gets into my head and really starts making me think that I should be numbers. And it's not anything anyone does or really, says. It's just how I process that. And I realize that kind of input into my head really knocked me off course. I posted a Transformation Tuesday today, because today's Tuesday. My real update will come tomorrow. But I posted a Transformation Tuesday, and the image I used for, pre, was one of, I think, like, my second YouTube videos. And in it, I talk about why I'm having VSG. Like, that's the entire video, is why I'm having VSG. And looking back, I kind of just flipped through the other day and was looking back at my videos, and I was like, I saw that one, and I was like, first I was like, holy shit, look at the difference. And then I was like, that's right. I started to think about all the reasons I had VSG. And I specifically said multiple times, weight loss was not one of them. It's a great side effect. But for me, it is not about achieving a lower weight. It is about being able to walk, not feeling crippled. Currently, we're still fighting that one, but it's better. It's much better than it ever used to be. I now typically just pay for it afterwards, which is fine. Still means I can walk. I would literally, my back would seize up when I walked for any length of time. If I walked down the block, my back would seize up and I literally couldn't lift my leg because my spine would be like this. And I literally could not function my legs anymore. So that was a huge thing. There's so much that I want. Health was the biggest thing, and I didn't have any comorbidities. I didn't have any of that, but I had started to really see the wear and tear being almost 400 pounds was taking on my body, and I wanted to take that away. I wanted to be more active. I wanted to do more things. I wanted to, all of this stuff. And so little of that. I mean, part of weight loss will get me to a lot of that, but the numbers never mattered to me. Everyone's like, what goal do you want? And, I'm just like, tell me where I should shoot for, but I don't know. I've never been this weight before. So, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. I've never known what 240s looks like. I didn't, the lowest I had ever been while being conscious of a number, because I didn't weigh I never weighed, was 270, and that's when I was on Atkins, and that's how low I got, was to 270, and I went from 300 to 270, and that's my only number, to really judge. I'm sure in high school I must have been this size. Wow. People cannot drive. Sorry, guys. I'm in a size 20 pants. I remember being in a size 20 at some point in my life, so yeah, I've been this size before, but like, when it comes to a number and a feeling, like, I can't go at 240. I remember what it feels like. 270 was the only weight that I could really remember what that felt like. In the low end of things. Like, so, numbers are not me. They're not. They never have been. I care, what I can do with my body, and it's nice to get into smaller clothes, but, as I'm coming to terms with it, I've lost 140 pounds. Over 140 pounds. My body's kind of a shit show some places. And so, like, even when I get to smaller clothes, I don't feel comfortable in them because there's stuff going on that's not the greatest. And, like, fitting clothes aren't the best for me right now because there's stuff going on. So, like, even getting into something smaller, I'm like, I can fit into that, but I'm not going to. Like, right now, I can fit into 20s, and I have a couple of size 20s, but I choose to wear things that are more closer to 22s because they give me a little bit more room for parts of me that are not looking so hot. I've definitely gone from that I wanted everything to be incredibly form-fitting to I need a little bit more baggy. And it's honestly just because it's getting bad. I need to find a solution. What is something that makes it a little bit more dealable, but it's pretty bad. But like numbers, not my thing. And I made a choice to incorporate more healthy and whole foods into my diet. I remember I went to my nutritionist, and I was going, yeah, I'm eating, whole foods, and she's like, yeah, or I was saying something like, basically, I think that I was eating whole foods, and she basically like, she's like, yeah, everyone's eating that, those processed things, like, and she listed them off, and I was like, yeah, that's everything I eat. And I realized, like, I had this notion that because I was eating low carb stuff, and that I was eating, like, this, and I was like, I realized that, like, it's all processed. Even my meats were processed, because they were all, like pre-cooked things that I would get, because I just don't have a lot of time. So I would get, like, the pre-cooked stuff and, like, chicken strips or whatever and use those in my salad. And I realized, like, everything I had was processed. And I was like, this is not whole foods at all. And, like, now I'm really starting to incorporate, like, raw veggies into my diet, and which I think is great. And I think that it's very important for me to do that because I really want to focus on the health aspect. And veggies, no doctor is going to tell you veggies are bad for you. I don't think a single doctor would ever tell you that veggies are bad for you. It's kind of a unanimous thing. So, like, whole veggies, why not? And, like, I don't mind. I thought I was going to have severe issues with the smoothies, but I don't. They're fine. I have no problem. I like my salads. It does take me a long time to go through both, though. It takes me a couple of hours to drink my smoothie, and it takes, like, it's probably the reason I don't snack anymore, is because my big ass salads take me like 2 sittings to eat. But again, if it's basically veggies, like, does it matter? I'm like, I eat till I'm full, I put it to the side, and then later I come back to it when I'm a little bit more hungry, and I eat again. And it's like, does it matter? Because it's veggies. Like, I don't know. Can you get too much veggies? I don't think my big ass salad and my green smoothie is too much veggies. But I realized, like, I wanted to eat healthier. That was part of this. And, you know, I was falling into the trap that I've fallen into a bunch of different times. I fell into it with Atkins, where, like, when I was on Atkins, it was like the height of Atkins craze. And, like, they had started coming out with, I think he had already died. They had started coming out with, like, all of these, like, new things. Like, oh, you can have ice cream, and you can have, like, all of these things were new. Like, you could have ice cream, you could have, like, pancakes and all of that shit. It's like, oh yeah, it's great, it's good for you, it's low carb. The sugar alcohols are through the freaking roof. And it's like, sugar alcohols and meat act like sugar. So you're not really eating healthy. Like, yeah, you might be, you know, eating a little bit low carb, but you're not actually eating healthy. And so that was, you know, part of my, why are you going 4 miles an hour? Jesus. But I wasn't actually eating healthy. And I would end up falling off because I basically let a whole bunch of, like, pseudo carbs in, and pseudo carbs led to actual carbs. And they also led to weight gain. So really, I saw this pattern happening again. I was eating a ton of, like, protein bars, and I was eating a ton of, like, low carb snacks, and I was like, this is what happened before. So I'm not saying I'm not saying by any means that I am 100% on eating. I'm maybe like 75. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm 70 to 75, that's a hell of a lot better than where I was. So I'll take it for now and work on making it better. But yeah, I need to really, I've realized that I have, over the last, like, I spun out and I had a bad go of it. And now I'm realizing that, without even realizing it first, but now I'm really getting back to me. I'm getting back to my priorities, my goals, my things, and really focusing on that. So I just wanted to share with you guys that, like, numbers, not the whole thing. We do this for our own reasons, and whatever those reasons are, that's what we do them for.